Have you ever felt frustrated, overwhelmed, or stuck wasting time in admin instead of growing, leveraging, and scaling your business? Then this podcast is for you. Welcome to Delegate to Elevate, the podcast that's all about handing off what you don't need to do so you can focus on what you do best. So here's your host, Bonnie Schutz.
Hey there, my friends. This is Bonnie Schutz, your host of Delegate to Elevate, Get Shit Done. Welcome. Welcome to episode 50. Shades? No. 50 of the Delegate to Elevate, Get Shit Done podcast. I'm your host, yes, and I'm your guide and your fellow traveler on this wild journey of building, breaking, rebuilding, and becoming. And today it's just me again. It was the 50th episode. I thought, I need to take this one. So here I am again. Just me, and a story I've never really told in full or out loud. This episode isn't about tips or tools or tech hacks. It's about becoming. And the little girl who started it all. Her name was Kathy Tyler. Yes, she was pretend, sure. But she felt real. I made her up as a kid. She wore my mom's glasses, tied her hair in a bun, and ran a one-girl office out of the garage. Her desk was her dad's workbench. Her typewriter, the chopped off end of a 2x4 with hand-drawn keys and all the stuff. She answered pretend phones. She took dictation, scheduled meetings, very official business, obviously. If you want to hear more about Kathy, by the way, you can go read the very first blog I did on my tandemresourcesolutions.com website, or you can scroll back to episode 1 of this podcast. She was my origin story. And at this time, I had no clue that pretending to be a secretary was actually laying the foundation for a future I never thought I'd claim. You see, I never wanted to be a CEO. Let's just put that out there. I never wanted the weight of running a business. I never imagined managing a team. I certainly didn't dream of having contractors and vendors relying on me for leadership, for income, for decisions. Nope. My plan? Be a rock star executive assistant forever to my retirement days. Stay behind the scenes, support great leaders, keep the train on the tracks, and do it all with grace, grit, and a label maker. Do you remember label makers? Oh my God. All my admin pros will get that part. But life had different plans. The corporate world changed. I changed. My needs shifted. The idea of building something of my own wouldn't get out of my head. It wouldn't leave me alone. I knew the admin profession inside and out. I had lived it, climbed the filing cabinets, quite literally, stood on top of the boardroom table to fix a light fixture or what do you call this? LCD projector. I endured the layoffs. That shit was hard. I supported the yelling executives, only one that I can remember, but I had supported one, and I survived. And I just shined in the background, behind the scenes. And one day, I stopped asking for permission and started building something myself. Well, semi-myself. Tandem Resource Solutions began as a side hustle with a former coworker. She was our company's recruiter at the company that I currently had worked for or was working for, and became my mentor in that space. We worked in tandem to bring our shared vision to life. A business built by an admin professional for admin professionals. And on her side, A business for tech pros by a recruiting tech pro. Anyway, but let me be crystal clear. This road hasn't been all highlight reels and LinkedIn wins and connections. There were so many things I said I'd never do. I said I'd never be someone's boss. Well, I said I'd never be a CEO. That's that imposter syndrome thing. I said I'd never run payroll, pay people, be responsible for people's livelihoods. No. I said I'd never write a book, but, wrote in 2 multi-author Amazon best-selling books. I said I'd never host a podcast, and yo, am I showing my Gen X there? Yo, never host a podcast, and here I am. Check, check, check. And well, you were listening to proof of that last one. I never thought I'd be good at hiring or that I could be a confident leader. Delegating felt hard, even for me at first. Well, sometimes it still does, not going to lie. I doubted myself every time I thought about onboarding a new contractor, bringing in a VA, or hiring someone to help me with tech, marketing, legal, you name it. Why? Because I thought I had to do it all myself to prove I was legit. And let's not sugarcoat this. Managing people is not easy, especially in a virtual/remote business. You don't have the break room chats, the water cooler chats is what we used to call them. The body language, facial expressions, the ability to casually course correct, pivot. Everything takes intention, clarity, and on one of my other favorite C's, communication. And if you're not careful, things can slip or even, boom, explode. I've had contractors disappear on me. I've had VAs miss deadlines or ghost my clients. I've had clients overstep boundaries and test every single nerve that I have. There, I said it. I've always wanted to say something about my clients. Now, please don't take this wrong if you're a client of mine, but just know that I empathize with you as my clients because you too, as professional who cares, whatever. You too, as professional service providers, I am certain have had clients overstep their boundaries. But that's a whole different Oprah, as I say. And I've had moments, full transparency, where I've cried, questioned everything, and thought maybe I am not cut out for this. But you know what I realized? Being a good leader isn't about never struggling. It's about staying with it, even when it's messy. It's being willing to own my mistakes, to redirect yourself, course correct, to stand up for your team. Yes, stand up for your team, your business, and amen, sister, your boundaries. I had 0 boundaries in my corporate career. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Of course. Yes. I was the yes girl, but not so much anymore. Think about that. Think about if you're a yes girl, yes guy. Don't be that. Set your boundaries. You need them. They're very important. It's also realizing you don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up. Period. Every time I wanted to throw in the towel, I remembered something. This isn't just my story. It's ours. Every admin who's ever been overlooked, every woman who's started a business over, in, or near her 40s, 50s, or beyond, every business owner trying to grow without burning the fuck out. This podcast, this business, this entire second act of my existence, my life, it's for you too. Whew, I'm going to cry. I became a CEO when I stopped playing small. I became an author when I stopped saying, Who am I to write anything, and who the heck would read it? I became a podcast host when I stopped trying to get it perfect and just hit boom, record. Somebody out there might like it. It didn't happen overnight. It happened step by step, one brave yes at a time. Now, Tandem Resource Solutions is a multi-six-figure agency supporting working administrative professionals, remote, online, VAs, OBMs, and fractional COOs all across the U.S. We've proudly joined the Military Spouse Employment Partnership, and we place powerhouse talent and incredible clients with one another in tandem, I like to say. We've built a community based on trust, kindness, and showing up human. And I've never felt more aligned in my life. If you're listening to this and you're in the thick of it, still unsure, still struggling, please hear me. You do not need to have it all figured out to get started. You do not need to wait until the fear goes away to take a step forward. And you don't need to do this alone, because delegation, it's not just a task. It's a lifeline. First responders, man, lifeline. And building something meaningful, it's not a straight path. It's more like got into my head there for a minute, picturing a straight path. It's not. It's a squiggly, scary, but satisfying climb. Something you never thought I'd ever say that a climb is. I digress. So here we are, everybody. Episode freaking 50. How did I get here? I'm not going to lie. This feels big. Not because of the number, but because of the journey. From Kathy Tyler in my garage to Bonnie Schutz, CEO of a thriving business, podcast host, and proud admin advocate. This milestone means something. It means I kept going. It means we're just getting started. And this, if this episode resonated with you or struck a chord or pulled out your inner child that used to play Kathy Tyler, would you do me a favor? Send it to another admin. And when I say admin, I'll just for clarity, because I preach clarity, admin is an administrative professional. So from admin clerk, receptionist, administrative assistant, executive assistant, chief of staff, that kind of thing. So send it to another admin, business owner, or fellow badass in your world who might need this kind of reminder today. And hey, if you haven't gone back to episode 1 yet, that's where I introduce all of this. Go give it a quick listen. I was nervous as hell, but I did it anyway. You'll hear it in my voice, and I hope it reminds you progress beats perfection every single time. I just want to say thank you for being here, for listening, for helping me grow out loud. Here's to episode 50. Here's to Kathy Tyler. Here's to the admin pros that got me started, the second act women that cheered me on, the brave builders, Dad, the boundary setters, moi, myself, and the delegation warriors, my amazing clients and network. Here's to you. I'm Bonnie Schutz, and this is Delegate to Elevate, Get Shit Done. Now get out there, delegating something scary, and do the thing you said you never do, because you can. I know you can do it.
So that's it for today's episode of Delegate to Elevate. Head on over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes will win a chance in the grand prize drawing to win a $15,000 private VIP day with Bonnie herself. Be sure to head on over to delegatetoelevatepodcast.com. That's with the number 2. And pick up a free copy of Bonnie's gift, and join us on the next episode.